This is the El Cochino from Roadkill Garage. I'm going to show you how this SS454 4-speed car was rescued from Motor Trend by me and my buddy Mikey P. I'll tell you the history of the car on TV, you'll see us break it outside of cell service and rescue ourselves, and in the end, you'll find out how you could own this car. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you could buy the El Cochino. Meanwhile, here's how you could win my personal 2023 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. I ordered this thing brand new from the factory. It's Go Mango Orange, it's an automatic, it's got the upgraded stereo, it's got a sunroof, it's got the Dynamics package, and it's only got about 7,000 miles on it. It's a really cool car. So here's how you can enter to potentially win. Go to my website, shop.davidfreiburger.com. The link is in the description, and buy my merchandise, because every t-shirt, hoodie, or hat or sticker pack adds up to entries where you could win. You also want to go to the website and read all of the legal rules, and you want to do it before the sweepstakes ends in June of 2025. So get on it, shop.davidfreiburger.com, and you could potentially win my own Challenger Scat Pack. Now, let's get into the story of the El Cochino. This is our 1973 Chevy El Camino factory SS 454 4-speed car, and it is the same car that you saw in episodes of the Roadkill Garage TV show. It might not be completely recognizable because it has been fogged black since then. Let me tell you the whole story. Originally, we got this because I had been looking for an El Camino, and they were kind of expensive, and this one came up, and because it was a big block and a stick, I kind of had to have it, despite the fact that it was beat. The thing had been sanded, and it didn't have that cool kind of patina look. I don't like it when somebody takes a DA to a car and takes all the paint off and has a bunch of bare metal and calls that patina. No, that's just a half sanded car. But that's the way it was when Steve Dulcich and I got it for that show. The bigger issue with it is that somebody had rebuilt a 454 and the cam went flat. Lifters on it were absolutely concave. It's the problem these days with having flat tappet camshafts. You try and break them in, they just go bad. I've learned not to do it anymore, and this is one of the reasons why. So Dulcich and I pulled the 454 out of this car, and we did a dingle ball rebuild on the thing. We sent the block out and had it cleaned. And I think that's about all we did. Oh, we ground the crank. The crank is 2020, 20 thousandths under on both the rods and the mains. And then we put it together on another episode of Roadkill Garage. And yes, it is that episode where Dulcich and I were literally crying. We were laughing so hard at all of the corners that we cut putting this thing together. As a matter of fact, I was crying last night watching the scene all over again. But it's one of those things where, because we know what we're doing, we can kind of get away with some of the wrong stuff. We ultimately put the engine together, and I think it's pretty good. It probably makes about 500 horse. I will give you, well, actually maybe a hair less than that. I'll give you all those details as we get to the engine later on in the show. So we did that with a new engine on Roadkill Garage, and then we went out to drive it, and it wheel hopped evil. Probably the worst wheel hop of anything that I've ever had. So there were two episodes that you've seen of Roadkill Garage where Steve and I fixed up the engine on this thing, got it back in the car, experienced the wheel hop. As of right now, May of 2025, there's another episode that I noticed hasn't even been streamed yet, and I don't think it's been aired on Motor Trend cable TV. They told me when I left that that was going to happen, that ultimately they will see the light of day, but they haven't yet. So I'll go ahead and just blow the end of the story, which is in a final episode of Roadkill Garage with this car, we did fix the suspension with all new QA1 stuff. It's got coilovers in the back now and sway bars, and it doesn't wheel hop anymore. It sets down low. It looks really cool. And that was the first thing we did in the episode. And the second thing is EFI. It's got a Holley Sniper 2 on it now, and we were surprised how well that worked. Now it seems to be running a little rich, so that's something I'm gonna have to play with on this episode. And then finally, we fogged the whole El Camino black. We didn't do any body work. It is really rough, trust me, but I think it just looks so much better fogged all one color than it did sanded down. And the last genius move was making our PA producer guy Mason paint the American Racing 200S Daisy mags with gold in the center. I think this thing is 1973 deep. thing is great. You know what? I love the car actually because it does good burnouts. It slides around really easily. It's fun to drive with the stick. And that's the reason why Mikey P and I decided to own it. And so now let's get into our ownership and what we plan on doing next. So this is Mikey P. We worked together at Motor Trend. He was the showrunner for Engine Masters and also Dirt Every Day and Super Street and Hot Rod Garage and
Put Up or Shut Up.
And Steve Magnante's
Supermodels. Thank you for bringing that one up.
Yep. So we worked together for a long time and now we're both suffering the streets together, and he is also starting his own YouTube channel, but he has no idea what it's going to be called at this point. So I'm going to display it for you on screen right here. What's it going to say?
Stop Procrastinating.
That's a good one.
YouTube.com/stop procrastinating. But I don't know, it says something here. Please go to that link. It'll be great.
Let's tell them the story about how we got this thing out of Motor Trend. Basically, It came back from us painting it and it went into the warehouse of doom. You actually pulled it out of there more than I did. But even when we went to get it out of the warehouse, it was not turnkey. First of all, the battery was dead. I think we threw a battery in the thing. Then we figured out that the alternator wasn't working, and we ran to your shop and got an alternator and threw it in there. And I think it ran at that point, and you drove it home from there to here.
The battery we expected, the smoke fest near the master cylinder we did not expect.
Oh, that's right. It had a grounded out wire and something caught on fire.
That was a near scare that we lost the sniper.
Yeah.
But your eagle nose sniffed that out, and we caught it in time. Everything's fine. I put electrical tape over that instead of gaff tape. So I'm pretty good. But yeah, pulled it out, put a new alternator in it. Everything charges fine. Drove it home. Honestly fell in love with it. At Freiburger's warning, I was probably going to fall in love with it. And within 200 feet, I was like, oh man, this car's actually, it's fun. It's a fun to drive car.
The shocking thing is, even if you hate this model year, even if you don't like the torn up interior, even if you know that the body is nowhere near as good as it looks in photos, the car is still just a riot and completely functional. And so for those reasons, we are now going to clean it up, see if we can find anything else that's wrong with it, tinker with it a little bit. So stay tuned for that. Let's see if it runs. Does it run right now?
It does run right now.
Yeah?
I have keys. I've also done a little bit of tinkering already.
Have you?
And it is much improved.
Okay.
Mildly much improved.
Mildly? Pop the hood. Oh, it's not too bad. I thought it might have gotten filthier than this, but it's pretty good. This is the 454, and it is the factory numbers matching engine. I checked that when we were doing it on Roadkill Garage, and you can actually see on the federal emissions decal, it reveals this is a factory big block truck or car. It is the spork of vehicles, the El Camino. It is the car with the truck bed. This thing is actually really a pretty good street engine. We put it together with the same pistons and rods that were in it when we got it, and it looked to us like it was KB pistons, Keith Black Hyper Eutectics, with a small dome on there. And these are factory cast iron large oval port heads, and they've got, I think, 122cc chamber. And so by guesstimate, not by fact, the engine's probably about 9.5 to 1 compression, which is on the low side. And that is going to hurt the performance of it. So is the intake manifold, which is an Edelbrock Performer 2.0. I prefer the Performer RPM quite a bit. And so I think it's being hampered by both compression and that intake manifold. It does have whatever headers were on it when I bought it. They are not full-length headers. They're sort of mid-length. And the camshaft that we put in it is a Comp Cams Thumper. It's a hydraulic roller. It is duration at 50 of 235 and 249, and the lobe separation angle is 107. So it's not a super aggressive radical cam. It's totally drivable, but it does have that thump because of the 107-degree lobe separation angle and the big split between intake and exhaust. It's actually pretty good. When we first put it together, we had some lifters that completely collapsed and failed on it, so we did upgrade it to the Comp Cams Evolution Series hydraulic roller lifters, which are the ones that I recommend. They've got a better quality cartridge in them. They just tend to work a whole lot better. So how much horsepower does this make? I had estimated previously 500, but revising my thought with the lower compression in this intake manifold, it's probably good for about 470. It's actually a really good street engine. It's a lot of fun. Now, when we first put it together, it had a Demon carburetor on it, but in the episode of Roadkill Garage that you have not yet seen, we converted it 2 Sniper EFI, actually a Holley Sniper 2 throttle body fuel injection. This is the new version of the Holley Sniper, the Sniper 2, that has more protection from electrical frequency noise. And it also has some revisions to the way the throttle feel works and some simplicity on how the thing wires up. It actually went in pretty well, and it fired right up and ran and impressed Dulcich and I. Right now we are having an issue where it seems to be really rich, and so I think when we start driving the thing around, I will fiddle with that. We also converted it to a regular old HEI distributor. Other than that, this is pretty much how I left it. Mikey P did spiff some stuff up. When we pulled it out of the warehouse, we didn't have a battery hold down. We had a bunch of magazine stuff behind it so that it wouldn't ground out. He fixed that. He moved the oil pressure around, took off this hideous bright orange overflow that was on it. You know what I don't like? Is this really short air filter. I don't know why we have that. I don't know what happened. It looks like you could put a taller one on it and not hit the hood. I don't know. I don't like the stubby air filter. It needs a 14x3 unless that punches the hood. I'm not sure. I think that Sniper 2 is taller than a carburetor, so that might be why. All right, that's it about the engine. I think it's got fluids. Do you know if it has fluids?
I have not checked.
That's enough water.
It's a gunky cap.
Power steering fluid.
It's good.
Oil is really good.
Colorful.
Yep. Okay, let's go. I want to take this thing over to the car wash. I always like getting dirt off first thing. You want to drive? If it runs.
It'll run. I am abundantly confident. So I believe this is the part of the episode where I wait for you to notice all the spiffy improvements that I've made to this interior.
Really?
Look around. Soak it in.
Well, you probably pulled a bunch of trash out of it.
One.
Yeah.
Oh, let me say this. Every bit of work that I did to this car cost me $0.
Okay. Did you wipe it
$0
off?
improvements.
Yeah. Was the window hinky?
The window was stuck down.
Stuck down.
It did not move.
And now it moves freely.
Wonderfully. It's still very dirty,
That's
but it
pretty
moves.
good.
Yeah, it's very
What
good
else?
actually. Lenses and gauges.
Oh, that is huge.
Very much harder to see the speedometer now.
That's okay.
But it's in place.
That's huge. So this thing for a long time had just the gauge bezel lying in the bed all smashed and filthy and dirty, and you were just looking at the raw dash. He put the whole surround in there. It's actually great.
It looks pretty good.
That is a win. Yeah, that's a huge, huge upgrade on this car.
So that, and then these two are also floating around. There's no bezel, but they're in place and functioning, not at all, but they're where they belong, and I call that a win. Also, glove box door, where it belongs.
Oh, is that another one?
Gaff taped together so that it hinges still,
Yeah.
but it's where it belongs.
I like it.
Because this is really a race car,
Yeah.
fire extinguisher hard mounted.
Really?
Yeah, it's good.
I had no idea that you tricked this thing out.
Bro, you have no idea how good this thing is now. It was good before, now it is good plus. And, the coup de grace. I've fabricated a whole mount to get this Sniper thing off of the Velcro on the dash.
Oh.
And it is wonderfully hard mounted, totally
And quick
accessible,
release.
and quick release. And you can actually see the gauges without looking to the passenger side.
Wow. I love it.
Thank you.
I had
Listen.
no idea. That's how long it's been since I paid any attention to this car. None of that stuff popped to mind.
It's been in my backyard for what, a month, give or take?
So you had tinkering time.
I had tinkering time.
You know what? This car sounds great. It's
It
got
does.
Flowmasters on it.
My neighbors hate it, but it sounds great.
Don't care. It's just right. It's smooth right now, nice mellow tone. It kind of has a chop at idle.
Yeah.
It doesn't drone on the freeway as far as I recall. It's pretty good. Wow. Now I feel like we can't get rid of it.
I've had that feeling a lot. The only thing that stepped me back from that feeling was finding the little bits of rot on the cowl.
Yeah, it does have that.
It
I'll have
does.
to show
It's
that
not
to the
ideal.
audience. But then again, who cares?
I mean, honestly, It's a fun car. If you're buying it for a fun car, and that doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I also don't have room for it, neither do you, so therefore it sells.
Look at this guy with his barn door, 2-door, lowered Blazer 2-door. It's
Definitely
really
a Beltec Tahoe for sure.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's not Tahoe, it's Chevy, right?
Tahoe.
Well, would it be, it is Tahoe?
Chevy Tahoe.
When did they change the name?
From Blazer?
When it went to OBS? I don't know.
No, it was a Blazer for a while during OBS, actually.
Right, that's what I thought.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question.
We're following this guy who's got a very lowered barn door, 2-door Tahoe OBS. I actually dig that thing.
That thing's great, actually.
Yeah, that's good.
But no, it's a good question, because I only said Tahoe because I saw it on the badge.
Oh, it was on the badge.
It was on the badge.
They were called Blazer early in the OBS,
They were,
I think.
yeah.
That's like a factoid I should know. I find it could use a different shift handle. It's a little low.
It is a little low. It's not my favorite. I am oddly enough more familiar with the T-handle.
Oh,
shifter.
yeah. But it needs a little kick up. It needs
does.
a little,
It does.
little extra.
And you say this is a factory 4-speed car?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Because, like, it just looks a little bit hinky down there.
I feel while we're rolling here, I should give you an idea about why you should be part of the El Camino heritage, because it goes back a long time. You know, the whole concept of a ute vehicle, like pickup truck car,
It's great.
it goes way back to the beginning of cars, I think. I mean, look, a Model T kind of is a factory car pickup thing. But remember in the Great Depression, wasn't there something about you got a different gas ration or a different tax if you had a truck instead of a car? And then they made those kits that went in the trunk to put a bed on a Model A?
I neither remember that nor the Great Depression.
Okay.
But like a Model A, Model T, it's really just a motorized cart. So like, I don't know that they were really, oh, let's combine the function of a car and a truck yet. It was just what they were doing.
Yeah, people did it a lot. But then just after the war, I think there's the vehicle everyone forgets, which is the Hudson pickup truck.
Never forgot it.
The
Never
Hudson
knew about it.
Big Boy is really cool and uses Hudson car sheet metal. But of course, in the United States, because we can't forget that the Aussies beat us to the whole ute concept.
Were they first?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
by a lot.
Okay, way to go.
By a lot. In the United States, I think it was the 57 Ranchero.
I believe so.
Beat the El Camino to market, but then there was the 59 and 60 El Camino. They're really good.
They're the best.
The 59 has the wings
Yes.
on the back and the cat-eye tail lights, and the 60 is a little bit less garish.
I'm not as big of a fan of the 60s. The 3 headlight or the 3 brake light rears, not as stylish as the cat
Smoother
eyes.
front, yeah. Yeah, the 59 is definitely over the top.
It's the money with cars,
absurd,
for
right?
sure.
But then they stopped having El Caminos for a while.
Which is dumb. But
Who knows? They knew the Chevelle was coming. So the El Camino came back in 1964 when the Chevelle was introduced. And so 64 to 65 sort of looks the same.
Yep.
66 and 67 kind of look the same.
real brake light differences.
Then 68 to 72 is sort of along the same ilk. They're the more rounded ones, longer wheelbase. And then there's this generation, which is the 73 to 77. And then the last ones were 1978 to 1987. So how many generations is that? 59, 60, then 64 to 67, 68 to 72, 73 to 77, and 78 to 87. 5.
I personally am of the belief that the 59 and 60 are a prologue to the generations. They're not the same platform. They're the X-frame like an Impala. It was more of a trial run of a car truck.
It's still a generation. It's still an El Camino.
I think factually, historically, you're probably correct, but I just don't emotionally feel that way about them. They're their own little thing.
Your opinion is wrong.
That's okay. I'm happy to be wrong.
Oh, you know what? There was also the GMC Sprint.
The El Camino, it's just the rebadge.
Right.
Okay.
Straight rebadge.
Didn't know, oh, wait.
And if you,
Go for it. I know you're going there.
the SP. Nope.
No, what's
So
that?
instead of an SS, for a GMC, you had a Sprint SP, special performance.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But where I thought you were going was the likes of the Dodge Rampage, because that's the only Ute that Dodge ever did.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
Dodge Rampage is one too.
And if we're
so's
getting
the little
wild.
VW Rabbit pickup truck.
And the Subaru Brat, if we're getting wild with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I hate to say it, is cool.
Oh, Brats are
Because it
great.
came with the rear-facing seats and the bed. Hard to beat.
So let's talk about why this thing is the El Cochino.
Oh, I don't know why it's the El Cochino.
You
Does
don't?
Does it mean the chef or the pig? I'm not good at Spanish.
Pig.
The pig.
But it is pig in terms of like sloppy slob. Like
Okay.
if you were a kid who didn't clean up your room, your mom would say, you would call you a cochino.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So this is El Cochino because it's slobby. It's a pig. It's a big fat pig.
It's shaped pigly.
And it's also like the way people say toe pig. Like it's just my utility, it's my whatever. So it's El Cochino, it's perfect.
I'll buy it.
It is what it is. And because it calls back to, of course, El Camino. And so it's got
Clearly.
that sort of thing going to it. It's a perfect Freiburger project name.
Pretty good.
I hate to say this because I'm a guy who's so critical of people with ridiculous project names, but I wanted to have a beater El Camino because I could call it the El Cochino,
That's why you wanted this car?
sort of,
So the name came first?
maybe.
Is that a little embarrassing?
Yes,
Okay.
totally. Why do you think I have the Dragoneer that's terminally stored in your warehouse?
So that you could store it in my warehouse?
So that I can call it the Dragoneer.
I mean, it's pretty good though. On the El Cochino pig naming of this,
Yeah.
other than like some frayed loose ends, there's nothing sloppy about this El Camino.
Well,
It's-
I mean, the
it's-
interior's all trash.
I mean,
It's got hack.
It's got trash in its
Seats
guts,
in
but
it
like
and-
it drives so nice.
It drives really,
There's-
really well. I know.
No slop.
It's actually one of the best hot rods that I have. All right, the wheels on the El Camino are an American Racing 200S. Vintage wheels you can't get anymore. Well, you can, but they're billet and don't look quite correct. They're what's called a daisy mag or a Coke bottle wheel because of the shape of those spokes. And we, of course, painted the center section gold, full-on 70s style. The rear appears to be a 15x8. It's got a Cooper Cobra GT 275 6015, which was new when we did them on the show, which probably means they're a couple years old. And up front is a 15x7, and we've got the meaty 245 6015. So those are really good. I actually love those wheels. Our next goal is to drive around and see if I can make the tune any better. Tuning.
Now you notice it doesn't
Basic.
actually smell in the car.
No, it doesn't.
But when you followed me home, you said it smelled pig rich.
Well, I thought it smelled in the car. Remember, there was actually a piece of tape on the windshield that said "smells like fuel in car" or something.
Cabin gets fumy, I believe
Cabin
was the
gets
quote.
fumy. Okay, right now target AFR at idle 13.5, cruise 14.0, wide open throttle 12.5.
That feels perfectly good for EFI.
Yeah? Okay, I disabled learning because after it learns for a while, you're supposed to turn that off.
Okay.
And it's been driven quite a bit. So let's do that and just see what it does. All right, we'll turn on gauges. Battery voltage 14.2 right now. That's great. It gives us air fuel ratio. This screen doesn't give me oil pressure. I don't think it knows
It does
oil
not.
pressure.
It does not.
It doesn't know.
You have to open the hood and dip your head over the core support to see oil pressure.
And look at
Super
that gauge.
convenient.
Right. Coolant temperature 190.
It does run on the warmer side.
Yeah.
It lives in the 190 to 200 range.
Okay.
And it does create a little bit of stress when you start clicking over 200.
Which it only really does sitting parked in traffic.
Right.
You notice how far away the door sill is from you?
Yes. Okay, so when you drive this, which you need to do very soon to make sure you don't want to keep it,
Right.
The seats are offset towards the center by a couple of inches.
These seats are not originals for the car at all. He desperately wants to get the original swivel buckets.
I love them deeply from my soul.
I don't know if I need them.
You do. Whoever he buys this, you do.
You probably do. It's a fair statement. It does bring the 1973 into the game. Thing just drives sweet. Listen to that engine.
And it's like, you can feel that the engine is tight. Like
Yeah.
it's snappy. It's a very well dingle-balled motor.
It is. It doesn't smoke.
No.
It runs on all 8
Yeah.
all the time.
Honestly, my original want to buy this car before I knew you were interested in it, I wanted to pull the motor for my Chevelle.
Yeah, that
I've always
makes
wanted
sense.
the Chevelle to be a big block car, and this is a good big block.
And it's a good 4-speed. It is
Right.
a Muncie, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah. And see, I mean, we're not throwing it around mountain roads, but
It's a very comfortable
pretty
cruiser.
good, right?
It is. It really is.
and look at the 1-finger power steering.
Look, no hands.
Doesn't pull.
And it's just happy.
It's a great driving car.
It is. Honestly, the more I drive it, the higher that price goes in my head.
I know. It's just so good. I don't mind the fact that it doesn't have a straight panel and that the paint is sketchy, because it presents okay from a distance. It's all one color. The wheels give it a lot of pop, and you can use it and just not care. And I gotta be honest, everything you did to the interior made this grow up a lot for me. A lot.
It was the tiniest, most incidental stuff that just needed to be done,
Yeah.
and it feels just slightly more complete.
And it's the stuff I never would have done.
Here's what I would do, honestly, if I did keep this car. I'd find a way to fix the dash. I don't think they make repops. I think they make dash caps for them.
They do.
I would do door panels,
Yeah.
and the uppers and lowers are separates.
Oh, wait. Did you install this lower?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Wow.
That's right.
Come on.
It's way better.
It is. But like, I would do all that. I would put seatbelts in it, maybe swivels if I could find them, which by the way are like $1,500 a set used now.
Yeah.
They're very expensive.
It's no good.
And I'd throw some carpet in it, make the gauges work, and like, I wouldn't touch anything else.
Yeah.
I would just spiff up the interior. I can park this next to any other car in any parking spot, and I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yep.
Which honestly, having driven a bunch of nicer cars, I'm not interested in that anymore. Okay, AFR seems very, very happy at this cruise.
Yeah, 13.9, 14.0, 13.8, 13.8, 14.0. Yeah, at a very light cruise, no load. That's perfect. Oh, we should have put gas in it.
We should put gas in it still.
It needs gas or it's going to run out. It sounds wicked. For a pretty small cam, for a perfectly drivable cam, the comp thumper deal is actually pretty good.
It's great. Yeah.
And actually, the tight lobe separation angle that gives all that overlap that makes that thump makes good mid-range torque, and the wide spread between the intake and exhaust duration tends to also let it rev. So even though they're sort of corny marketing type cams, they actually work really well.
This is my only experience knowing that it is a thumper cam, and it's fun to drive.
It is.
That's all I know.
Yep. You can see here that it's got a Rhodes Race Cars fuel cell with the in-tank electric pump. And the fuel cell is really, really hokey ratchet strapped in there. It's not safe. I wouldn't do it. This car does have a factory gas tank in it, but I was unable to find an aftermarket one, and we didn't feel like trying to get it out or clean it out And so that's why Dulcich and I just did this. If you own this car, I would recommend solving that situation because it's not great. I've been calling these American Racing 200S wheels. Yeah. They're in fact US mags.
It says it right on there.
It does. They're the same design, but regardless.
Still a good look. Good job, US mags.
Also, you noticed this thing was overheating on the highway.
It was getting hot. It was kicking around 200 in fourth gear. It shouldn't be, what was it, 14.1 to 1 it was sitting at?
It was 14.0 to 1 on the commanded air fuel ratio at cruise. And I went into the Holley Sniper controller and I made it 13.1.
Right.
And it cooled down.
About 7 degrees.
Yeah.
So it cruises real nice, low 190s now.
Right.
You had also mentioned to me in the past that you thought there may not be a thermostat in this at all.
Oh, probably not. Dulcich and I just don't do that.
A thing to know, future owner.
Yeah, it needs some cooling system attention. I'd probably clear out the radiator or flush it or something and put an actual thermostat or a restrictor in it. What else did we learn on the way here? There was
it drives great. It's a ton of fun. I'm gonna miss it.
I can see the agony in your voice.
I know.
One more thing I feel like I have to tell you about this car is while it does have a Steve Dulcich paint job, and while he did do a great job, given the conditions, it's really not as good as it looks on camera. I'm worried that people are gonna see it and go, that thing's sweet. We took a photo of this right after we painted it. I showed it to you.
Yeah,
What'd
it looks
think?
Great.
It's incredible.
Beautiful sunset photo.
Yeah.
I think we can assuage those concerns with this statement right here.
I'm ready.
It's not as good as it looks. Right?
At all. Actually, I'll show you some of the details if you walk around the thing. You can see there's like a scuff on the headlight. There's scuffs everywhere.
Child's play.
There's a lot of examples of there were deep chips in the paint that we just sort of sanded over and painted it.
But you did
I
sand
just
them.
Scratched it with my fingernail. It will scratch if you rub it really hard. It's just that type of paint. There are some areas where you can see where there's Bondo slathered and sanded and painted over. Unfortunately, there's the cowl problem.
Yes. Somewhere between yay big and yay big?
Yeah.
Some rot on top of the cowl, which to me says there's probably much more below that we can't see.
Probably.
We don't know what's under the tar on the floors.
We don't really.
So,
I think it might have had a floor replaced and that put back in.
Buyer be super wear on body stuff.
I would say that. It's good looking from afar, but far from good looking.
No,
I think it's
good looking.
It's for what it is, it presents pretty well. I'm glad that it's all one color instead of all being sanded off. And I absolutely don't have to worry about it. That said, I am super annoyed that somebody ran that fender into a pole in the Motor Trend warehouse and chipped the paint off of it over there.
All I know is it wasn't me, and it would be easily convincing to just touch that up with whatever paint this was, and you'll never know when it happened because that little texture, we'll call it texture, it's character,
right?
Matches what's on the doors and the quarter panels and the tailgate and the hood.
So
the rest of it.
I guess what I'm saying is this thing is so much better mechanically than it really is paint-wise, and I want to make sure that none of you think that it's arrow straight and pristine.
No, if you buy it, you're buying a fun car, not a show car.
There you go.
And it's a very, very fun car.
Perfect.
Go buy a fun car.
Let's talk about some of the mechanical stuff on it. I'm going to crawl under the back and show you the suspension. Nice hot asphalt. Under here, a few things to point out. It does have QA1 coilovers all the way around and also QA1 arms in the back. And when we did that and lowered it, it completely solved the wheel hop problem. When this thing sit way up in the air, as a matter of fact, there's an airlift decal right here on the gas tank, and it had airlift bags in the stop coils, and it sat so high in the back that the 4-link angularity was so terrible that it was causing that problem with the wheel hop. And with the QA1 stuff, 100% solved. The rear axle in this thing is a 10-bolt. I know that sounds really depressing because you'd like it to be a 12-bolt. You'd probably like it to have something other than the 308 gears that are in it, but it cruises the highway great. We were driving at 80 on the way up here. It's awesome. This is an 8.5-inch 10-bolt, which was an upgrade from the earlier 8.2-inch 10-bolt, if that makes you feel a little bit better. I've told you about how the gas tank probably has bad gas in it and we couldn't get an electric fuel pump that worked in it. If you look at the tank, it actually appears to be new. So if you need to work on this thing, I'm thinking you can drop this, have it boiled out, have an electric fuel pump put in it, and it'll be just fine. It's not dented, it's actually in really good shape. Let's go have a look. Oh, let's go have a look at the fact that this thing also has a trailer hitch receiver on it that I would not trust for a Ski-Doo. So pretend that doesn't exist. That is just booger welded onto the frame. Overall under here though, it's pretty nice. I haven't really looked to see what somebody's done about the floors on it, but it is not all rusty and cruddy. It is fairly freshly painted black under here. Underneath the front, actually all pretty good. I think we showed the alignment's pretty great. You can just take your hands off the wheel at any speed. Not that that's a recommended thing. And it works. I just wanted to show you here, it also has the QA1 coilovers and a QA1 sway bar. And you can see that the engine's all fresh and new. Oh, there's really embarrassing giant train horns mounted here. But you know, I'll say they're mounted pretty well. Huh. Let's do a driver change and I'm gonna go blast this thing around the mountains. I'm gonna mount a GoPro so that you can watch the suspension move. Well, I'm showing you kind of a beater in the El Cochino, but you would rather see yourself in this 2023 Dodge Challenger. Just a reminder, this is my personal car and you could win it in a sweepstakes. Check out the link in my description to shop.davidfreiburger.com. Buy some merch, read the rules, and you know what? You don't even need to buy anything. You can actually mail in a postcard, so you don't have to spend any money to either enter or win. But you know what? It'd help me out if you did.
Let us.
The transmission, the steering, everything is great on this car, except the body and the general design, and yeah, and the fuel cell.
But I have come to learn that there is a large subset of people who do really like this body style.
Yeah.
We may not agree on all things, but like, yeah, it's popular.
It's more and more acceptable all the time to have a colonnade style car.
100%. Anything pre-75 V8 rear-wheel drive has reached some level of baseline acceptance. No question.
What the car needs to handle a little bit better is a little bit more caster. It's a little bit light. Now I smell gas again.
I do too.
Could it be coming out of the stock gas tank?
You know what? It could be.
It very well could be.
Oh, wait a second. Tell me that again?
All right, I'm cruising this mountain road and I had to pull over because the coolant temperature sensor said 241. I'm guessing that the fan belt's falling off. Let's look. Mikey P getting the action shot and boom! Not only did the belt fall off, the whole alternator fell off.
Oh, I didn't put that in.
Wow. And here's the belt all tied up in there.
Grade 8 carnage.
Yeah, here's the belt.
Still whole though?
It is whole and it's here. Okay, it's hot, but I can get that out of there. This is the problem. Oh, it broke the bolt off in the head. Dude, this has several layers of ungood going on. We're in the middle of nowhere on a winding mountain road with a whole bunch of traffic. There's been someone reported nearby shooting fireworks from a black car with two guys, and we know this because the fire department's already stopped twice. And the bolt broke off on the alternator, and it's stuck in the head, which is blazing hot. So there's no way to get back down off the mountain without fixing it. And we have no tools with us because morons. So I'm guessing what happened is that this wiggles so much that it broke the bolt.
That is fair. It was very wiggly.
Yep. And I don't even have a Leatherman with me.
I literally have nothing. And, well, yeah, that belt runs alternator and water pump, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah. That's fairly major when you're completely unprepared.
But it's still an SS. Well, at least we got that cool burnout shot before everything broke. There's that. You know what else is cool?
What?
No service.
Right.
None. This is where we film each other's sad faces.
Right. Here, let's film each other. What's going on, Mike?
Hold on, you're covering your own face. That's a clean Mustang. Here's what's happening. We're hosed.
We are hosed. We're standing on Angeles Crest Highway. We've been driving around in our El Camino, gloating about how great it is.
Which we are correct about.
Talking about all the stuff that's wrong with it, overlooking the fact that it broke an alternator bolt, and we're stranded here because we have no service to call anyone. And there's a million people driving by, but this is Los Angeles, and so they don't care.
They do not care.
So what we need is for the police officers who've already spoken to us once, and the fire folks who've already spoken to us twice.
Oh, very kindly.
Yeah, we need them to stop by and give us a hand.
Or a tool.
We have
any
no
tool at
tools,
all.
No bolts.
This is what happens under the penalty of hubris. This was such a great car, neither of us thought to bring tools at all.
That is what happened.
Yeah, so it's time to hang out for a little while, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not walking, I'll tell you that. This is LA. Nobody walks in LA.
All right, give us a minute. We'll figure this out. Okay, Mike, hear me out.
Hi.
We're pointed downhill.
I know. 201.
It's fine.
Honestly, I think we might just have to cool it, jam on it, cool it, jam on it, until we can get somewhere that gives us service. There's no other choice. 199. It's happening. It's all happening right now. Okay, so here's my plan. We let it cool down. It's already down from 240 to 198. We're basically golden. Let it cool down, jam on it as hard as we can, till 220. Pull over again, let it cool down. Get us back to service, make a phone call. There's a cop. We need help. Help. Our hood is up. Our hood is open. Keep on driving. Any Hoosers, that's my plan. You got a better one?
No, I say coast.
Coast.
Yeah.
I don't think we can get that much speed coasting.
All right, we're taking the belt out because we might as well save that if we possibly can. And the plan is to get it down the mountain one way or another.
It's a good plan.
That's it.
Quickly. I don't know. We're a good plan here.
We can do it.
All right.
Let me set up a GoPro so it captures our death. And, yeah, the hinges on the hood could be better. You got to give it the side-to-side wobble.
The square body shimmy.
Yeah. Our plan is to roll this thing all the way down the mountain. We can do it.
Good. I mean, this is the time.
Yep, no one's coming. Oh,
Yeah.
look. Gravity wins. This is fine.
It's actually faster than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
We're registering 15 miles an hour.
We're going to be fine.
Actually, I feel pretty good about this.
How about the no seatbelts part of this?
Not my favorite.
I know.
Canyon Road, 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's a very big fail on this car. And the seatbelt bolt holes have goop in them, so they need to be cleaned up before you
It's
put
not goop.
the seatbelts
It's not
in.
goop, it's tar.
Is it?
How's that power steering feeling?
The power not brakes is my bigger concern, actually, but I have tested it and it is fine. Figured I didn't want to go too far before discovering that the brakes didn't work.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Also, why don't you tell our fine friends the
Whoa.
catastrophic differences between 241 degrees at a temperature sensor
Yes.
versus 241 degrees in a cylinder wall.
So here's the thing about that. When you do not have water circulating in an engine and your temperature gauge is telling you 241, it is way worse around the cylinders than you think it is. It's really bad for the piston rings because when water's not circulating, it's not pressurized, it wants to boil more, it wants to bubble more, and when it's not circulating, it means the water that is right there next to the cylinder is way hotter than what you're seeing on your temperature gauge, which is way up on the thermostat housing or side of the head or something like that. So running an engine for a long time with no water circulating is extra bad. Fortunately, I think ours spiked pretty hot pretty quickly and it cooled off pretty quickly. So I don't think that we tortured it as much as, would make you not buy the car.
Yeah, really good way to cap that one off. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not so bad that you wouldn't not want to buy it.
Right.
It's actually okay.
It was pretty quick.
Yeah, all of that warning statement given, I mean, Steve Dulcich has driven stuff way further than that. All right, we're almost in civilization. I have no idea where I'm going to stop.
We have 5G. I think you don't stop.
Is there a gas station
Don't
or
stop
something
until
up
the
here?
auto zone down the road.
Well, there's going to be a signal down here,
There is.
and if I stop there, we're done.
Yeah. We have an O'Reilly's 3.6 from here.
Ooh, not bad.
It's not terrible.
My biggest concern is where am I going to stop? Like, am I going to come to a signal and have to stop and there's
You will
no more
eventually.
downhill?
You've got probably another mile until that happens. All right.
Okay.
Well, we've survived thus far.
All right. We can get rolling again from right here.
Yeah.
All right, I feel good. Current coolant temperature 140. See what I mean? It's not bad.
It's fine. It's great.
That smell is the brakes.
Yes.
'Cause I-
Yes, they work.
Instead of using the stick, I have been using the brakes the whole way down. If I had a bolt, and it's a long bolt.
It's a long bolt.
If I had a bolt and locking pliers, I could probably fix this. Maybe a piece of gum.
If I had an avocado and a snorkel.
We're pulled over at the side of the road again, and here is the deal. This bolt right here broke off right there in the cylinder head. You can see where that bolt broke off right there. And that left the alternator completely dangling freely, potentially falling into the fan and potentially having the hot wire to the battery ground out and start a massive fire. So that's where we are.
Small fire to start with. Big fire later.
And one guy in a, I thought Subaru, but no, it's something else.
Acura RSX, bro.
Acura RSX guy actually stopped to help us. So that was cool.
He did not have a 7-inch bolt.
Now, the 7-inch 3/8 bolt was not in that guy's repertoire. All right, I pulled the cable out of the back of the alternator so that we could tape it off so that it wouldn't swing and ground and hit anything and cause a giant fire.
Quality.
And we just put gaff tape from my camera kit on there. Next thing I need to do is make sure this does not swing into the fan blades. That might be gaff tape to the rescue once again. You ever make rope out of gaff tape?
good.
Now we are taking a little cable that I use to retain the GoPros to the car so they don't fall off, and we are wrapping it around the alternator and around the water pump to hold the alternator back so it doesn't fall into the fan. All right, fixed. Now we can at least start and run the engine for short periods of time. Okay,
All right,
ready for another coaster.
let's have fun.
Wow, it's picking up speed already. This must be what it's like to have an EV, right?
But this is way more exciting.
Yeah. That was true. I'm gonna pull over and wait because I think
That might go, and we don't know.
right. See, there's
Oh, it
two of
just
them.
went.
See?
Man,
Well, I would have been in trouble, right?
it's almost like you've done this many times before.
Yes.
Well, this has been a fun day.
Normal. See all the fun you can have with old cars?
Yeah, don't buy a new one. Definitely don't get a new car.
Right. See, I'm gonna catch this light, but hopefully it's still
Nah, you're
downhill
good.
enough
You're totally
to get the
good.
other one.
No,
I'm not
just
good.
keep going.
Nah.
There's only so much you can do. What are you going to do?
Well, oh, I see the don't walk sign.
Oh, no, it's
Wait,
good. It's totally fine.
we're gonna make it.
We're totally going to make it. I've been confident.
We're gonna make it, and that one just turned green. Nailed it. Do I turn right at this light?
I don't know.
No, what?
Oh, keep going.
Oh no,
This
it's
is an
the
off-ramp.
next
It's
one.
the next one. Oh yeah, time that red.
Okay.
That's your 76. After that red.
All right.
Oh no.
Ooh.
The town center light.
Oh.
Just take it. Just take it.
Ah.
Nobody's here.
No, because I'm downhill here. I have
Okay,
some hope.
All right. All right.
All I would have done is run it and then had to
That's a
stop
good
in
point.
back of that guy.
Yeah. This might be when we have to start the car for the first time.
Yeah.
Oof. Hopefully it still does that.
Is there any cutting through the town center that
I
helps?
think there's too much incline there. We don't have enough momentum to overcome. It's go
Okay.
time. Oof, that is a slow start.
Yeah. It is.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, those hazards working.
Here.
Oh no. Easy. Oh, you got it. Scare this poor woman.
How'd I do?
And then we cut off the same guy that was honking at us.
Look at that.
Oh, sucker.
That was art right
That
there.
was
You have to admit it.
That was 80 feet for free.
That was awesome. Okay, now it's uphill all the way to the Ace Hardware.
pretty much.
Ugh.
We are 3.1 miles.
3 miles?
Hey man, I didn't put it there. Hit it. $132 on the clock.
On the temperature?
On the temperature,
Oh, yeah.
132. We're doing all right.
We're fine. Ooh, look at the coasting.
I'm looking at the toasting all right.
Uh,
You can hit that red anyway. $131 even.
oh, it's fine. Okay, we got this. I hate running engines with no water flow. I really do. Oh, look at all the traffic.
Oh god, that is
No.
brutal.
Oh.
It's okay, that light's clearing it. It's gonna clear it. You just gotta time this first red.
You think?
No, but I'm just trying to be optimistic.
It's much more uphill over there, too.
It's way more uphill.
Just to recap what's happening right now, we're sitting in hardcore traffic. We're firing the thing up for maybe 15 seconds at a time and trying to make it, what was the total? 3.8 miles to a hardware store.
Yeah. 2.1 left. Uphill. Poor guy.
Yeah. And remember, once the battery gets to a certain lowness, it does not work the fuel injection anymore.
Oh yes, we don't have that alternator thingy.
Right.
Correct.
People are cutting around me, getting in front of me, and ruining my roll. Oh, wait.
We're green.
It turned green.
Yep.
That was fun. That was me bump
man.
starting it and it backfiring for unknown reasons. No, we've gone 2/3 of the way.
Honestly, we're almost there.
I really don't think we've hurt the engine either.
I don't think so either. It's a happy camper.
Let this guy go around me.
It's a low compression lover.
Oh man, look at that guy stopping in my lane.
Everybody's just all about their business right now. I love the last minute running the yellow.
Yes. So do I really want to be left-hand lane or?
After this light, I would get in the left-hand lane.
Oh,
with steez.
I got this.
God.
Ah.
God, that should have clunked so much harder.
Yeah, it should have.
Like,
they're not open.
They are open. The doors are open.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, we did it! We managed to hobble our way all the way to a hardware store.
And the motor's still great.
It is. There's nothing wrong with it. I need to go get locking pliers and a 7-inch long 3/8 bolt.
You want me to wait?
Boom!
You want me to wait with the stuff?
Sure. All right, we made it. I don't know, almost 4 miles, 3.8 miles to this hardware store, which is extensive and good. 2 stories, in fact. I couldn't find bolts for a while. The challenge is going to be, can I use the locking pliers to remove the bolt in the head? That's what this is all going to come down to. If I fail at this, it's all over. If I get it out, then we can win. You can see we got lucky because it is barely sticking out of the head. This is going to be a tough one. Okay. Is that turning? It is! We just won. I got it. Yes! By hand.
Wow.
Busted it loose. Look at that.
Impressive.
That is a bam. Look at that. Wow. We're going to pull this off. There's our guy. Now, unfortunately, you'll see this is a grade 8 gold bolt. This is grade 5 nothing. So this is going to break soon, but it'll get us home. We won't do any more burnouts. Okay. Then this needs to slide on here. This goes on like that. This bolt holds that on. Okay, now we need to worry about getting the belt on. And the belt is probably gonna flip a million times. Now if you can get that in. Alternator's mounted, belt's tight, everything's great. Unfortunately, I took this battery cable off because remember I didn't want it grounding and catching on fire, but I just pulled it out of the terminal on the back of the alternator. So now I'm gonna attempt to fix it. So I'm going to remove the little nut, like so. And by the way, you'll notice that I have removed my wedding ring so that I don't arc it to ground and burn my finger off. Okay, open that baby up, put it back on. That is on there. Now I'm going to crimp it. Tightening this up a lot. Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay. All right, here's the situation. We just butchered this thing back together. The stud on the back of the alternator was completely hashed. I got a nut to barely hold it on there. He just gaff taped it on to make sure that it would stay. And we're assuming that we can make it home. It's getting dark out. We're gonna go have some munchies and probably see you tomorrow for the rest of the story on the El Cochino. Let's get out of here, dude. Goodbye. It's the next morning. we went ahead and shook all the bugs out of this thing for you, so it's perfectly reliable.
Fully exterminated, not a bug left.
Right.
Until you find them.
All right, I am gonna try and peddle you this car right now, so let's go over the cons and pros. Notice how I led with the negative?
Yeah, because there's not that many of them.
There aren't, but I think they're significant.
They're worth mentioning.
The body is nowhere near as good as what it probably looks on video. It's not caved in, it's not super rusty, although the rot in the cowl is pretty ugly. But it's just got a lot of dents and dings, and we have painted over a disaster.
Everything.
You know, there's a lot of chips that were just painted over, and there's a lot of sanding marks, and there's a lot of Bondo marks and stuff like that. So
and
that's
even
bad.
on top of the fresh paint, there are scuff marks and things.
That too. Yeah.
It's
right
a driven
there.
car.
I'm blaming Mason for that.
That's fine.
And also, it needs an alternator bracket.
It
I
does,
would say.
yes.
It still runs a little bit warm. That's probably an easy fix, but I would fiddle with that probably a little bit.
I wouldn't worry about it. I would still happily drive this to San Diego now that you've tuned with the AFR, but it runs a little warm.
Interior's just a little crummy around the edges, needs carpet.
It's trash.
Yeah.
The interior's trash.
Okay, trash.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. It doesn't have seat belts in it, and the holes are tarred over, so that's something I would fix before I took it on a big drive.
Yeah.
What's another downside to this thing? Oh, the fuel cell in the bed,
Yes.
not really good. Yeah, I would address that almost immediately. Well, I wouldn't, but I would advise you to.
I would recommend somebody else does.
Yeah.
Along that line, the smell of raw gas now and again, I think we have traced back to either the fuel pump just pushing out of the hose that's still there, or sloshing out of the filler.
I think that it is the stock gas tank that's still in the thing full of gas.
It's entirely possible.
That is creating that problem. What are the other really bad? Oh, the dash pad is really horrible.
Yeah.
But let's get into the pros on this car.
Easy to do.
Ultimately, it is that it runs and drives so well. Way better than it should for something that was put together sort of on a TV show.
It's a good running car.
Yeah, the EFI is the best running aftermarket throttle body self-learning deal that I've ever had on a car. The engine is strong. It's not brutal power, but it has that mid-range torque that's exactly what you want for the 4-speed and 308 rear gears.
You can press the accelerator from anywhere in the power band and you have enough power to move.
It just goes.
It's really good.
Yeah, and the transmission shifts perfectly, doesn't pop out of gear.
Nope.
Rear end doesn't howl.
Nope.
Doesn't have a drive shaft vibration.
Steers really nice, brakes are good.
One finger power steering.
It is a good and fun driving car, and if you're gonna purchase it, that's what you should be looking for.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where we're pushing it pretty hard, but it makes us want to keep it.
I'm not pushing it.
Yeah,
I would
that's
like
because
somebody
you'd
to
be
buy
okay to actually keep
but
it.
the longer it sticks around, the more I come to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's still more in my way the longer it sticks around, but I still enjoy it driving it, so it's not that big of a deal.
But it could be yours. And let's go through this before I give you a price. There is nowhere else that I believe you are going to find a factory SS big block 4-speed car that runs and drives this well for the low price of
All the money.
$9,500. That's how much we're asking for this car. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let go of the Daisy Mags for that price, which I had a hard time letting go of.
Honestly, it's a good fair price, I would say.
Yeah.
I think we could honestly probably get more for it, but for get it gone, $9,500 is a good price.
Yeah, and
It
so
is.
you need to have it. The way you can do that is contact me. It is heyfreiburger@gmail.com. That's H-E-Y, and my last name, which you're gonna have to spell correctly. F like Foxtrot, R-E-I-B-U-R-G-E-R. It's F-R-E-I Burger. So heyfreiburger@gmail.com. Email me. Basically, the first person who replies and goes, I'm taking it, and is ready to give a deposit or pay the full amount is who's going to get the thing. Usually I sell these cars within about an hour of posting a video on them. So if you want it, hustle it up.
Do we ship or is local pickup preferred?
You want to come pick the thing up. If you need us to meet a carrier of some kind, that's fine. But what I would do if I were you is fly in and drive it home. It's gonna make it, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And summer's coming up. I think it would be an awesome trip.
Good car.
Last thing, make sure to follow Mikey P.
Yeah.
He's got his brand new YouTube channel, Saturday Garage. It's gonna be all about what one guy can accomplish on his day off tinkering in the driveway.
And I finally decided on a name, so that's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of that on this car. Just fiddling, you made this thing way better.
Honestly, it took more than a day, but it also took me $0.
Yeah.
And it's just incremental improvements that honestly I do think really, really upgraded the car.
And that's what his channel is going to be all about, Saturday Garage. So that's the story on the El Cochino. We love it, but we got to let it go. Will it be yours? We'll hurry up and find out, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah? Is it numbers matching?
Yes.
It is.
Uh-huh.
We missed that part. Or we just got that part.
That's what you did like every week.